bit of an interloper with poetry, but yeah, I am a poet, so having a good night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be in Redditch. I'm from a little place west of here called Wythenshawe. Yeah, but you needn't worry, I won't steal any cars to get home because I want to get here. So. And I'll take it home and leave it in Menshill and torch it, which is what we from Wythenshawe do when we leave the area. I think, being a poet, I think sort of love makes the world go round, or love should make the world go round. But occasionally it goes wrong, and I can imagine there's probably 50 people in this room, and most of us have been in love in our lives. Some of us have. Some have been kicked to the curb, and some obviously haven't. This is about a guy who was a bit short-sighted. I'm going to do two poems. You don't need to clap after this, you know, not that you would, 'cause you might think it's shite. Clap after the other one, then we'll have a little break. This is called When You Left. Coming as it did, abruptly, cruelly, quickly, it was a bit of a shock, but I should have seen the signs, for they were there. When you stopped kissing me, when you stopped holding me, when you stopped making love to me, and when you moved into the spare bedroom. The signs were there all right, but they do say love is blind. And when you left, you took away my heart, you took my soul, then you came back and took everything else. And after you'd finished with me, you said we could still be friends, and that was 10 years ago. And we haven't spoken since. Actually, it was 15, but you know, what's a few years when your heart's been ripped out, stabbed on, cut up, put in a blender, and left to rot. So, as you can see, I am a fun guy. This is growing up in Wythenshawe. We were very poor, you know, not just working class Wythenshawe, but a lot of working class kids. But what the local youth club used to do for us every year was they hired well, it was a hut really, but I'm just trying to be posh, you know. I am in Redditch, aren't I? We had a hut where they played records once a week, and once a year they'd hire a charabanc or a charo. We call it a charo. You call it a bus now, don't you? Or stagecoach or whatever. And they'd give us free tickets for some rides at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and they'd give us some fruit. Now we didn't know what to do with the fruit, so when we were on the A56 we just threw it at people passing by, because you know, we didn't know what fruit was. You didn't know you could eat an apple and an orange, you know, and a banana. What was, you know, we just threw them at people. And this is about a girl who finished with me 3 weeks before we went to Blackpool, and the day before she said, "Oh Dave, I'll go back with you for the trip, you know, we'll go and have a bit of fun." And this is when we ended up in the tunnel of love, and this poem came out of that. That day in the tunnel of love she kissed me to perfection. That day in the tunnel of love she eased my juvenile erection. And that day in the tunnel of love in the warm Blackpool weather. That day in the tunnel of love our bodies rocked together. That day in the tunnel of love I'll remember forevermore. And that day in the tunnel of love, two poor kids from Wythenshawe. I was just going to say, before I go, I was going to call the girl in the poem Denise, but I actually met the girl who was in the poem a few weeks ago at Civic, and she blanked me. So her name is Jeanette Redshaw, and she lives at 5 Tilley Road, Woodhouse Park. She's still there. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Cheers.